Maybe if you did your job right, my son wouldn't have failed. That's what she screamed, in front of the entire class, with her face red, spit flying, and her fake lashes barely hanging on. My students looked frozen. I think one of them even cried. And me? I just stood there, holding the grade sheet in my hand, wondering how the hell this became my fault. But let's rewind a bit, because if I had known how far this woman would go, I'd have never volunteered to teach that summer class. I met her 2 months earlier. She showed up late to the parent orientation. Everyone else had been seated for at least 15 minutes, but she strolled in like she was walking a runway. Heels clicking, designer shades still on, and a huge Louis Vuitton tote on her elbow. She didn't say hi, didn't apologize, just walked past everyone and sat at the back like she was too important to be there. Her son Jaden had just transferred in 3rd grade, and right away I could tell something was off. It wasn't just that he struggled, lots of kids struggle. Jaden didn't even try. When I asked him to read, he'd shrug. When we did math, he'd stare out the window. No eye contact, no engagement. I figured maybe he was just nervous, so I gave it time. After a week, I sent a note home, gently explaining what I'd seen and offering to help. The next morning, Jaden handed me a crumpled piece of paper. In thick red marker, it said, "My son is smart. Stop picking on him. Do your job." That was it. No name, no greeting, no signature. It was a choice. I've had tough parents before. Defensive ones. Over-involved ones. But this was new. Still, I didn't give up. I kept encouraging Jaden, praised every little win, checked in with him more than anyone else. One day, he finally wrote a full sentence. I put a gold star on his paper. He stared at it, then ripped it in half. I told myself, he's struggling. It's not about me. But then came the second parent meeting. She didn't come. Just emailed me at midnight with, "You're making him feel stupid. Back off." And that's when I knew she wasn't just entitled. She was dangerous. The weird thing was, Jaden wasn't mean. He wasn't disruptive. He just existed, like a piece of furniture. Always there, never engaging. But then came test season. The big one. Reading, math, writing. All evaluated by the district. I tried prepping Jaden for weeks. Pulled him aside. Sent extra worksheets home. Reached out. Nothing worked. He handed in his reading test completely blank. Left the essay section untouched. For math, he circled random answers. I logged every interaction, just in case. Then the results came in. Jaden failed every subject. Like, epically. I knew it would be a problem. I didn't expect it to explode. The principal called me in first. He was calm but tired. "Jaden's mom wants a meeting. She's upset." I nodded. "Did she see the test results?" "She says they're wrong. That you sabotaged him." I actually laughed. Sabotaged? With what? Encouragement. The principal didn't smile. "She's threatening legal action." I swear I felt my soul exit my body for a second. "We'll handle it," he added. "Just be ready." 2 days later it happened. It was dismissal time. Kids grabbing backpacks. I was at my desk. That's when I heard it. "You." I looked up and there she was, marching into my classroom like a storm in designer boots. "You failed my son. You embarrassed him. You lied." I stood stunned. Kids were watching. Some backed away. "Mrs. Langston," I started. "We can talk in the office." "No. We're talking now. You think I wouldn't find out? You gave him those tests knowing he'd fail. You set him up." And then she did it. She grabbed the grade report out of my hand and tore it in half. "This means nothing," she hissed. "You mean nothing." I didn't cry. Not yet. But my hands were shaking. The janitor was the one who called security. She stormed out before they arrived, but not before turning back and yelling one last thing. "We'll see what the school board thinks of you." The next day I came to school early. I didn't sleep much the night before. My hand still shook a little when I picked up the attendance sheet. Around 10 a.m., the principal called me into his office. "She filed a complaint," he said, sliding a manila folder across his desk. Inside were screenshots of emails, test papers, even a note I'd written offering Jaden extra help. all twisted to look like I had been targeting him unfairly. She wants a hearing with the school board. My stomach dropped. But, he continued, we also did our own digging. That's when he pulled up the classroom camera footage. Weeks of recordings. Jaden refusing to answer. Jaden scribbling nonsense. Jaden throwing away his homework. Me kneeling beside him, coaching, encouraging, patiently trying. We also checked the learning platform logs. She claimed he wasn't given assignments. He was. He just didn't open them. I didn't know whether to cry or laugh. You're not in trouble, he said. But you'll need to be there. It's scheduled for Friday. That day came fast. I wore my plainest blouse and brought a folder of printed emails, class logs, and student records. The hearing had 5 people. 2 board members, the principal, a parent representative, and an external moderator. Mrs. Langston was already seated when I walked in. Her lips were tight, her nails freshly done. She didn't even glance at me. The moderator began with her complaints. She discriminated against my son. She made him feel stupid. She failed him on purpose. Her voice trembled like she was the victim of war. Then it was my turn. I laid everything out. Dates, documents, even screenshots of our learning platform. The board was silent, taking notes, nodding occasionally. Then the principal played the footage. 5 minutes of Jaden's complete disinterest. 5 minutes of me trying. When the lights came back on, nobody looked at Mrs. Langston, not even the parent rep. Do you have anything else to add? The moderator asked her. Her voice cracked. This whole system is broken. No, ma'am, one board member said. It's working just fine. I didn't smile, but I felt it, deep in my chest. The validation, the relief. Mrs. Langston stood up, still refusing to look at me. She grabbed her bag and walked out with her nose in the air. Even after being proven wrong, she kept that damn attitude. Entitled to the very end. After the hearing, the principal asked me to stay behind. He poured me a cup of lukewarm coffee and said, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I nodded. Thank you for backing me up. You earned it, he replied. Some teachers would have given up on Jaden. You didn't. I didn't know what to say to that. So I just nodded again and left. I went back to my classroom and just sat there, alone. The room felt different, quieter, safer maybe. Later that afternoon, a few of my students came by with little notes. You're the best teacher. Thank you for helping me with math. Don't be sad, we love you. I didn't cry at the hearing, but I did cry then. Over the next few weeks, things calmed down. Jaden stopped showing up to class. Eventually, the office told me he transferred to another school. No one said goodbye. Not even a message. Just gone. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I wasn't. Some people don't want help. They want control. And when they lose that control, they lash out. Loud, ugly, cruel. It took me a long time to stop flinching every time the front office called my room. Took me even longer to trust a new parent. But I'm still teaching. Still here. Still trying. Because not every kid has a parent like that. Some of them just need one adult to believe in them. And I can be that person. Sometimes I think about Jaden. Not with anger. Not even sadness. Just wonder. Where is he now? Did he find a teacher who could reach him? Did he finally learn how to care? Or is he still floating through school invisible just like before? I'll never know. And that's okay. Because not every story wraps up neatly. But some do leave a mark. This one changed the way I teach. Not softer. Not harder. Just wiser. I learned to document everything. To set clearer boundaries. To trust my instincts. But more than anything, I learned this. Sometimes the problem isn't the child. It's who's standing behind them, whispering they can do no wrong. And those are the voices we need to drown out. Not for our sake, but for theirs. If you've ever had to deal with someone who refused to take responsibility, you're not alone. Sometimes the loudest voices are the ones most afraid of being wrong. But truth doesn't need to shout. It just needs to stand. If you've ever been in a situation like this, drop your story below. We're here to listen. And if you're still healing from something someone did to you, this is your reminder. You didn't deserve it. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next story.